Which gun was the streamer using? It's this one. This one's broken. This is the one they made the video on. No, wait, no, it's this one. No, it's this one. They just put out a new video. Oh, wait a minute. I swear it was this one. Hi guys, if you're like me, then you're tired of hearing all this broken, overpowered BS, and you want to know what is the best gun to use, if there is even a best gun to use, or are they all about the same? Hi, I'm Yoko for Yoko Gaming. That's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. If you like this type of content, you like tips, tricks, even sweat clips, we got you covered. We are your cup of tea right here at Yoko Gaming, so do not be afraid to like this video, subscribe so you can hear my sexy voice in the future. Now let's jump into this video. Fuck. Ha! Math, you nerds! All the rats in the rat gangs know I love using math. I am a big nerd. So I took the top 3 guns that I am seeing a lot. Now, there are niche videos. I'm seeing TikTok videos about AKs, about they having the most range and they carry the most damage to the range. There is all kind of niches, but there is a reason that these 3 guns are the ones that everyone is talking about. Exclusive Ace made a video saying the Kilo has the least amount of recoil and is a pretty damn good all-around gun as far as the ADS speed and the damage. The Amax is the one that the streamers swear by, and the M13 is the ones like me, the little rats, actually use and love. So I'm gonna break all this down. We're gonna go into it. I'm gonna tell you if there is a best gun here, and then I'm gonna try to give you a build up for each gun if that's something that you guys would like. So let's start off with the Amax, okay? This is what the one that everyone, I see fucking Nick Mercs and every damn screenshot on YouTube about it. So this is what it is. Okay, so the CR Amax has a damage profile of 56, 42, 35, 35. That's 56 to the head. This is also in core. So all these are in core except this here. So you have 56 to the head, 42 to the upper chest, 35 to the lower, and 35 to the leg. So that's about the same. As a Kilo, you're gonna see it's actually just all 28, and it's the same thing with the M13. This is why the Amax is a little bit different, as it carries a little bit more damage more than anyone else. There is a range deficit here, but we'll get into that later. So you're gonna have a time to kill, or a 5 to 8 shots kill in Warzone. This is assuming you hit all 5 shots in the head or all 8 shots in the upper body. You have an ADS speed of 275. This is without building any attachments. This is just a base gun. And you have a RPM of about 620. Now this will vary depending on which YouTuber or streamer you watch for the time being. I've seen it as high as 650. I've seen it as low as 600. 620 is the one that I've tested. That's what I'm gonna go with. So for Warzone, this gives us a full armor up close and personal time to kill, assuming you're hitting all headshots, 465 milliseconds. At range to the body, you're looking at, range to the body, you're looking at 744 milliseconds. Now the range is a little different in each of these variables. This one's about 35, no, excuse me. This one's at 44 meters. I probably should put this, 44 meters. Kilo has a base of 42 to the head, 28 to the upper, 28 to the midi, and 28 to the toesy woesies. You also have a 5 to 14 shot kill, noticeably more bullets, but you have a higher fire rate, and I won't do the math on this, but I probably should, but it is exclusively not that bad. You're having 6 shots more, but you're firing almost 130 rounds per minute, which if you nerds took any math class is about 2.2 bullets faster per second, meaning that in what, 4 seconds, splits of a second, you're gonna have the exact same damage downfield. That's okay. This is the big number that gives us ADS speed is 267, leading it way faster than the Amax. Again, this is base. And the full armor is 462, which is really surprising for whatever reason, considering this makes no sense. And up to 770 milliseconds at range, so the Amax will be better there. Now, this one is surprising. I've went back on this several times. I've went to Exclusive Ace, I went to Drifter, I've went to Zborg, I've went to Rock, Paper, Scissors, I've went to everywhere, I've tested it myself. The only thing I can find in this variable, and we'll go over this, the M13 has a base damage of 36, 24, 24, 24. Everyone seems to agree on that. It will take you 6 to 14 shots to kill. Everyone agrees on that. ADS speed's around 250. I've seen it as low as 234. I don't think it's 234. Pretty sure it's 250. RPM, I've seen it as high as 927 and as low as 808, which I don't know who smoked crack there, but it is about 900 RPMs. This is the surprising thing that I've seen. And Exclusive Ace did a video on the M13 versus the Ram and the Kilo or Growl. Don't quote me on that. And he said that the M13 does have the weakest damage in its class for this type of reason. However, unlike the other guns, because it is only lacking a few damage points, one single headshot will reduce the amount of bullets that it takes. Meaning one headshot could actually put this thing at about 440 milliseconds, which means it would have the fastest time to kill up close, and that's thanks to its blazing 900 shots per minute. Now, without that though, assuming you hit all body shots, you're gonna get screwed. You're at 520 milliseconds up to 650 milliseconds. That's also because even though it doesn't have the exact same range as the Kilo, although they are pretty similar, it does have the massive fire rate to carry more bullets downfield, which will significantly cut all these in half, right? So if you're missing a lot of shots, but you're still putting a lot of shots downfield, you can still kill your target. And that's actually what I swear by. You know, my friend Blue swears by the Kilo, I swear by the M13. Let's get into a little bit more nitty gritties and we can end this video. One more thing I wanted to go over with you guys is recoil pattern, because if a gun's a really, you know, a monster with damage and it's got great range, but you can't control it, it's kind of useless. 7 here is a great website. Exclusive Ace submits some things here, of other YouTubers lit some things here. You got your range drop-offs, you got your recoil patterns, all this stuff. So this is one of the websites I used when I was talking about everything I used earlier. And as you can see, the Kilo, like I said, does almost have the least. I mean, the FR is kind of a burst, so it doesn't count. It's kind of straight up and then slightly to the left. So dropping that commando actually kind of puts it about right here. And in terms of like 4 or 5 shot distance, that means, you know, by the time you aim at them in the neck, you're going to hit them on the top of the dome. So that's really good. M13 is a little bit crazy, you can tell. It goes straight up and then veers to the right. So the commando actually puts it right here where the group is. So it has significantly more recoil than the Kilo, but you're also firing, you know, 200 more rounds per minute. So you can check that out. Now the Amax here is the one that's interesting. It's kind of spotty. There is a lot of bouncy, but it is straight up. So the commando actually will straighten all this out and reduce it a little bit to here. Now, if you build everything fat on it, you know, the mono, the biggest barrel and everything, it actually takes it down in line with the M13, meaning it is a pretty accurate gun. It just doesn't have the fire rate that the other two have. On Season 6 here, everyone's building everything about the same, you know, and I think instead of trying to figure out what is the best overall build for a gun, although there is some I would argue, the main thing is how you want the gun to act and how you're going to play. For example, as we were talking about, doesn't have the fire rate that the M13 does, even though it sports really good damage. Now what that means is you can't be as lackluster. You have to be pinpoint accurate if you're going to be up close, and that's going to kind of limit you to medium range. You don't want to really be up in the face of an ASVAL or an MP5, where the M13 can kind of bang there because it has that high fire rate. So if you hit a couple of headshots there, you're kind of fine. Here with the Amax, because of the slow fire rate, the slower ADS time, if you miss 1 or 2 bullets and they're pinpoint accurate, I mean, they're going to melt you. Now, having that said, the Amax is going to capitalize on its medium range because of that big boy 50 damage that it can do. And as long as you can control the recoil, I think it's pretty standard, it's pretty obvious. Now, I did a video on the Commando versus Ranger foregrip back in the day. People are building the Commando because, like I said, it straightens it out in the recoil pattern, and you don't lose any ADS time, which is actually nice. Now, you do lose movement speed, but most people run overkill or have an MP5 or a shotgun in the back anyway, so I don't really think that's a big of a deal. Now, same thing with the Kilo. Most people are building the Kilo the same. I only have 2 setups here because I'm going for a Viper reticle. But VLK, they're usually using a mono, the longest barrel, commando, and 60. Again, this one really helps because the Kilo doesn't have any like major climb. And the M13, because I'm using it up close, I found that I can still beam people from far off. But like I said, it bangs up close with the ASVAL and the MP5, which is something a lot of people use. And so I am having to use the Viper. This way the VOK takes less time to ADS, or this one takes less time than the VOK, and I can still hit up close. Now, it is noticeably weaker than like a fire shotgun, which I think is actually broken. But, I mean, if you're in shotgun range, you might as well have a shotgun. I mean, no AR is really going to capitalize on that unless you get lucky. So just to summarize, if you're going medium to long range, use the Kilo or the Amax. I think that's kind of personal preference. Kilo has more accuracy. The Amax has more damage, but it has way less fire rate, so it is less forgiving, right? It's kind of like a marksman rifle in that way. The M13 is your up close big baby. This is the one that's going to bang with all your fast SMGs. This is what I think, guys. Leave your comments down below what you think. Did this video help you? Did it not? Am I just some weird rat? I love y'all. Peace. Let's go.